This very odd looking plane is also one of the most important ever made. It's called the Super Guppy, and this is why its history is so significant. Those strange looks are not just for show, they're completely by design. The Super Guppy looks the way it does because it was built solely for the purpose of carrying large cargo from place to place quickly. The Super Guppy was created by now defunct aircraft manufacturer Aerospace Lines for NASA in the 1960s. It was built to carry massive space shuttle parts from around the USA to Florida. It was so successful that many people believed the space race to get man on the moon would not have been won without it. Most parts of the huge Saturn V rocket which took the first men to the moon were built all across the United States, and all of them eventually had to end up in Florida. Because most of the parts were so big, they couldn't be transported using conventional methods like roads. Initially, NASA used boats to transport the rocket parts to Florida, but for parts made on the west coast, that meant a journey around the entire country and through the Panama Canal. This journey could take up to 20 days, and in the middle of a time-sensitive space race, NASA did not have those days to spare. And so the Super Guppy was born. The company that created the Super Guppy, Aerospace Lines, was founded by a former pilot who saw a business opportunity in helping NASA transport their shuttle parts across the country. He bought two old Boeing 377 Stratocruisers, which were in the process of being replaced with more modern planes by Boeing anyway, and set about modifying them. The modifications included extending the plane's length by 5 metres and building a new fuselage that was 6 metres in diameter on top of the plane. This original aircraft was named Guppy. NASA's first impressions of Guppy were not good. They initially didn't even believe it could get off the ground, let alone fly across half the country with a huge shuttle part inside it. But they were wrong. After a demonstration, NASA ate their words and started utilising the original Guppy. The journey that once took 20 days now only took 18 hours. There was an issue though. Guppy wasn't actually big enough. It couldn't carry Saturn V's third stage. So NASA had to ask Aerospace Lines to build them a new, bigger aircraft. And as you've probably already worked out, this bigger, better Guppy was called Super Guppy. The Super Guppy is a variant of the Guppy, built on a military version of the Boeing 377 Stratocruiser. First they inserted an extra 10-metre section in the middle of the aircraft, then added an even wider and taller fuselage to the top, and made it pressurised so it could carry more sensitive equipment. This enabled it to carry the super crucial Saturn V third stage and the instrument unit. Between the first Saturn V launch and the Apollo 11 mission, the Super Guppy flew over 1 million miles. And it delivered some sections of the rocket up to a year earlier than they were when delivered by boat. Because of the Super Guppy, NASA managed to put a man on the moon on President Kennedy's schedule in 1969. Without the plane, this probably would have happened years later. Despite being designed in the 60s, NASA is still using it and its multiple variations today. It has gone on to inspire a new breed of extra-large aircraft, like the Antonov AN-225 and the Airbus Beluga. And it's by far one of the most important aircraft ever produced.